If you tell yourself you can't, you're right. If you tell yourself you can, you're also right. Either way, whatever you tell yourself will come true as long as it comes from you. If you want to start accomplishing your goals right now, you need to believe that you actually can. What's up, you guys? I'm Lauren Lavender, and welcome to Fortunately Relatable. I'm a recovering, burnt out, stay at home mom turned successful momtrepreneur. Having navigated this journey firsthand and discovering the sustainability for success, my mission is to help you realize your own goals and give you the tools you need to accomplish them. Let's do this. In my house growing up, we grew up under, as my mom calls it, the pack mentality. The pack mentality basically meant that if one part of the litter was successful in something, then we were all supposed to follow suit and be successful in that same thing as well. For example, my older sister expressed interest in swimming, so that meant that now we are all interested in swimming. This meant mom could bring the entire litter to one activity instead of three different activities, and mom didn't have to be in three places at once. But for my individual needs, it meant that I was jumping into something that was convenient for her and not necessarily for me. My sisters and I are roughly 2 years apart. And now, as a mom looking back, that's not exactly that much time in between each kid and being pregnant all over again. And it's basically the equivalent of bringing home the entire litter instead of just one puppy at a time. My mom adopted this mentality for a few reasons. One, it was more convenient to get three girls to a single activity versus three different activities and getting ahead of the pressure of being at three different places at once. And two, because swimming was a great sport for all of the reasons mom had heard, and thus it will be great for each kid, regardless of if they are interested in it or not. Now, as a mom today, I admire this mom hack of just throwing us all in one pool so that she could sit on the bleachers and watch all three in the same space. But as an individual at the time, I felt so claustrophobic. Like I was stuck in an elevator that was never getting off on my stop. I wanted to get out, but I didn't know which one was my stop. And the elevator just kept getting off on everyone else's. I am more of the creative type. And I vividly remember the day that I came home from school and told my mom after a successful 12-year swimming career that was produced from being on two different swim teams at any given time that I was no longer going to do swimming and I was totally burnt out. I had zero interest in it. And frankly, it got so bad that I loathed swimming. And to this day, I still refuse to get in any pool of water ever and see it as work 15 years later. That also includes jacuzzis, spas, bathtubs. I know. PTSD is super real and not a joke at all. Now, to give my mom some credit, did I learn how to be disciplined and become great at something through an independent sport like swimming? Yes. Did I have to rely on myself to be successful in that sport? And that success was directly related to the amount of work I put into myself? Absolutely. Was it a great way for me to learn all of the things that are necessary to be successful at anything in life, such as hard work, dedication, and commitment to a goal? 110%. But it wasn't until I took all of that anxious energy and slammed it into drama, as in the school program, that I fully realized just how important it is to go after things that interest you, not just what you think you should do, and give it your all. The school play was Grease, and anyone that knows me knows how obsessed I am with Sandy and Danny Zuko, and its evidence can be found on social media through all of my costume parties, going as Sandy in my all black outfit and red shoes. I was obsessed with this movie growing up. And once the school announced that this was going to be the school play, I found out when the signups were, went home that day and Googled popular songs, selected Build Me Up Buttercup, and went to the rehearsal that day. I'm pretty sure I skipped swim practice, or at least showed up late. And I didn't tell anyone I was going to do it. I didn't ask for permission. I didn't wait for any answer from someone. I just went for it. I had never sang in public. I had never been an actress. And I most certainly have never done any type of public speaking or appearances. But I did not care. I didn't even have the, oh my God, what is someone going to think moment because I was so obsessed with the content of what I was about to go after that I had my blinders on and I was full speed ahead. I tried out and it was crazy. I just remember going up there, singing the part of the song I could remember, and then went back and sat down really fast. That's literally all I remember. I'm pretty sure I blacked out. I don't remember how I felt. I don't remember feeling nervous. I just remember I did it, and then I got casted as one of the leads in the play. Sadly, I was not Sandy and had to save that outfit for another Halloween instead, but I did end up being Jan, Brusha, 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 and one of the pink ladies instead. I could go on and on and on about how this was arguably one of the best experiences of my life, how practice never felt like practice, but just a time in my day where I got to be totally myself, which is ironic because I was playing a character, and how it never felt like a commitment because I would give anything for practice to go on for one more song or part, and how it was the first time in my life where I did not care what anyone thought about me and I didn't wait for permission to do something. I just genuinely believed I can do this, and so I will. Where I come from, drama has a stigma. It's for the weirdos. It's for the nerdy people. It's not as mainstream sexy like sports. It's not as admirable as, let's say, swimming, where you're defined as lean, tan, athletic, blah. Drama automatically brings a stigma related to being weird and different. But yet, in that moment, when I decided to try out for the play, I realized that I didn't even notice that stigma, even though I was fully aware of it existing prior to being in drama. What is the point of this story? Well, the point is really this. That was the moment in my life where I decided that I'm only going to go after things that make me happy and not what everyone else said would make me happy or what everyone else was doing to be successful. I saw how taxing it was to do something because someone else said that I should. I know it was my mom, but still, I was constantly burnt out because it felt like work. I was constantly angry because I wasn't doing something that I wanted to do, even if I couldn't put my finger on the thing that I did want to do. I was constantly stuck in time, and I never felt like I was getting better or becoming better, even if my times for swimming were improving. Drama showed me that when you show up for something you want to do, you leave each day more energized than when you showed up, more focused and in tune with what you want, and you actively search to keep that momentum going and fill your plate with whatever it is that makes you happy. That play changed my life. It sounds so trivial and like, oh, good for you. But honestly, it really gave me the power to branch out and try something new and just freaking go for it. So, fast forward, I graduated from high school and I decided to go to college. I decided on that because that is what everyone else was doing. I know. What the heck, right? Like, didn't we just talk about how you should go do whatever you want? But that's exactly what I did. I signed up for a 4-year degree. And to be honest, I don't even know what my major was at the time. I had always heard just go to college and figure it out when you get there. And I saw everyone going to a 4-year degree. And I realized that, okay, this might actually be legit since I want a steady paycheck. And every HR department that I'm aware of will want to see some type of higher education degree. So I'll sign up and go. So I went for a year and I flunked out. No joke. I was put on academic probation. I didn't go to class, I was not focused, and I didn't even care if I was being kicked out of college. Again, why? Because I was burnt out. I was not focused. And I believe that this wasn't for me. There was no passion or energy for me to focus on to give me a reason to want to be there. Simply going to college for a paycheck one day was not motivating or tangible enough for me. So I worked part time and decided on what I really wanted to do. That's when I discovered FIDM, FIDM, the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. My younger sister decided to go there for marketing. And once I found out about the different types of programs within this creative school, I felt that fire raging inside of me again, and the blinders went back on. I researched every single major, decided on visual communications, stayed up for days to complete my application project, and was accepted shortly after. This program was for an AA degree, but at the time, I would have gone there anyways, even if I didn't even leave with any degree. I just wanted to learn and do all of the things in my syllabus and be around other people who were so insanely creative and inspiring to me. The school was 2 hours commuting each way. And for 2 years, I commuted 4 hours a day, stayed up all night to complete projects, and I never felt more rested. Sure, coffee will do that to you, but so does passion. Caffeine is short lived, but passion is forever. And I had found my passion of becoming a creative problem solver very quickly. Then I graduated from FITM and I was as high as a kite on passion and ready to enter the big world and get a paycheck doing what I love. I applied to every job that looked interesting to me and wasn't getting as much traction as I had hoped. I started to get a little unconfident about my portfolio that I built at school, was unconfident about the image I was projecting, and started to question if everyone else at their 4 year degree was right in choosing the popular route. But then I landed an interview with a budding tech company in the Bay Area, and I jumped on the opportunity to branch out and try something new. I worked there for 4 years, and for 4 years, I did everything that was asked of me. My role was a graphic designer, but it evolved into being a designer and a coordinator role, and I managed all kinds of projects. And I was so content with getting my first job out of college. But then I started to feel the effects from the passion detox that I was going through. I didn't feel that same burning passion that I got from drama and FITM. And after 4 years, I quit my job to be a stay at home mom because why? I missed loving what I do. Being home with my son gave me all the time in the world to find out what in the heck I want to do with my life. As someone who has been trying to answer the question, what do I want to be when I grow up? And still try to figure that out as I go sometimes, I have found one consistent thing to be true. If you don't follow things that you are passionate about and make it your mission to make them critical in your everyday routine, you will never be successful or happy, especially if you don't believe you can. Success is subjective. Everyone's level of success varies. Okay, fine. We all agree being a billionaire, being super hot, having all the access to resources like trainers, chefs, lavish lifestyles, blah, 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 is thebomb.com. But I'm here to tell you there's a difference between being alive and living. Being alive is dreading Mondays and living for Fridays. Living is creating a daily routine that makes every single day feel like a Friday. Being alive is doing all the right things so you can shove down your fears, anxiety, and doubt for one more day. Living is removing fear, anxiety, and doubt from your life by becoming confident in the areas that you're passionate about. Being alive is waking up and looking at your alarm clock and wondering how many times you can press snooze today. Living is being up before your alarm clock because your body is shaking to get you awake and you want to squeeze every second into your passion projects and fit in one more task. Being alive is needing, living is wanting. Today, I'm a marketing manager contracting at two tech companies, a mom, a wife, and I still plan time for working out, hanging out with friends, and studying material that genuinely interests me. My idea of success is waking up every single day and genuinely being excited to live, not just be alive. For me, that's working in the industries that I'm passionate about, surrounding myself with like minded people who lift me up and make me want to do better, and taking the time to listen to my intuition on why I should or shouldn't do something and make adjustments accordingly. So if that means you want to quit your 9 to 5 to be a stripper, you go for it. If you want to take on a second life and go save the planet one elephant at a time, please do. If you want to try something new because it sounds interesting, what the heck are you waiting on? Stop making excuses Start making adjustments and believe that you can, and I promise you will. So, my challenge for you today is this. Ask yourself wholeheartedly, am I alive or am I living? Am I doing what I think I'm supposed to be doing because it's the best that I think I can do? Or am I doing what I want to be doing because it's where I thrive and build my best life? Are you hanging out with the same people because that's just who you've always hung out with? Or are you hanging out with the people that make you feel like your absolute best self and you can't imagine where you'd be without them? Are you spending your downtime finding ways to make more time for the things you love? Or are you spending your downtime distracting yourself with things that will just make the day last longer so that you don't have to think about that thing you don't want to do tomorrow? Make it your mission to get up every day because you're passionate about what you do and not just because you have to do it. Start looking around. Figure out what you can adjust from an excuse to a reason. Is it your job? Is it your relationship with others? Is it your relationship with yourself? What things can you do right now, today, to make more room for the things that you want to be doing? It's not overrated to do what makes you happy. It's essential if you want to be successful. Now, if you don't know what you're passionate about, it's because you're either not listening to that fire inside of you that perks up on certain things, or you're just so used to being content with just being alive. That passion sounds exhausting, and you're content with just being, well, content. And I'm here to tell you this. Being content is fine, but what is not fine to me is going your whole life and wondering, what if? One of the most insanely amazing quotes that I've ever heard from motivational speaker Les Brown is, hell is seeing your potential self when it's too late. So make it your mission to wake up with purpose and believe that you can. And I promise you, you will be successful. Thank you guys so much for listening today. I 110% believe in you. I believe in you so much that I made a frickin' podcast about it. What does that say? So if you believe you can do something, you truly can. This first episode is about believing in yourself because if you don't believe you can, you're right. Nothing will happen. So let's relish in step 1 and start believing you actually can. Next up, if you expect greatness to happen, it will. So refill your coffee or margarita. I don't judge on what time of day it is and what you be drinking. And let's get to step 2. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.